going in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright everyone, welcome back. This is Ro16 with Elaine's son for iCCup Television. Thank you for tuning in to our coverage of the Gigabyte StarsWar 6 tournament, sponsored by Gigabyte.com. Biggest shoutouts to them for making a heart at you with my hands. They make awesome motherboards, top of the line. Elaine likes to rant about how she loves them the best constantly, which you've done several times today and our previous cast last week.
I know a lot about Gigabyte. In fact, I'm a hardware geek, so can't help but gush over it. I'm so happy they're sponsoring StarCraft 2. In the meantime, just to point out again for anyone who missed it, this map pool was decided several months ago, before all of those new maps came out and Metalopolis was altered. So closed positions are possible, and unfortunately for MorroW, for the most part, we do have close positions here. So it's going to be a very difficult game for him to win.
So yeah, this is going to make it rather difficult for him. As we can see, MorroW is going to be on the top position here on Metalopolis in the blue Zerg. His opponent, the one, the only OGS NaDa, the legend himself from Brood War, is going to be the red Terran over here at the 9 o'clock, wrong side of the clock there, 9 o'clock position. So they are in the close ground spawns like you're saying, and with this forward barracks, if he does go for early 2 racks pressure, this is going to be very difficult for MorroW, because a hatch first build these days is very safe, except if you get these positions on metal. And look at this, MorroW does scout really early, but it looked like he was still going for a hatch first as he's on 16 supply. He's going to do it anyway, so he's kind of gambling that NaDa's not going to go for the 2 racks, because fun fact here, ready for fun fact time, the rush distances on these spawns on this map is shorter than Steps of War. That's the reason why all of the major tournaments did edit this map. But like you said, this map pool was determined many months ago, because Gigabyte is a long-running tournament and they set up all the details a while ago. But don't see any sign of a second barracks from NaDa, so it looks like he should be safe here.
Right. I'm surprised that NaDa didn't go for the pressure, but he is a macro player, although it's very difficult to macro in these positions, and it's taking a third and dodging somewhere very far away and difficult to defend. But yeah, MorroW is like the gutsiest player of all time, because, when people are hesitant to expand and take a fishing hatch on Xel'Naga Caverns, never mind Metalopolis, which has literally the closest close positions of basically any map except maybe Shattered Temple.
Didn't MorroW do this like in the previous round too? Like, he just went for some really aggressive early expansion build in a situation that was just like not safe, and it made me go, MorroW, you've got big ones. Like, he's really committed to his. Yeah, he's got a big heart. He's got 2 of them even, but he's he really likes going for that hatchery. It's something you see from him in almost any situation. He'll drop that hatchery because he wants to get it down. He wants that extra macro. He wants the more drones in the early game. And when you think that he's going to get himself into trouble because of that, and somebody just pressures him really hard, he somehow makes it out of it okay. Even like in these close spawns on Metalopolis, I think I saw that in the previous round where he did the same thing, and he still made it out of it without taking too much damage. So NaDa did see that fast expansion, and on these spawns on Melo, it means that he's relatively comfortable that his opponent is going to be playing defensive, so he is going for that little bit of a risky build, going for the fast expansion straight into a factory. But given what he's seen so far from MorroW, this is a calculated risk by NaDa, and he does have the 2 barracks to produce Marines to help protect him while he starts getting the factories up and running. So, talking about a calculated risk, look on the other side of the map, MorroW just started a Baneling nest. So MorroW might just make him pay for it.
This could definitely be Baneling play. I mean, it would be definitely a very high economy play, since he does already have an astounding 33 harvesters to 24 SCVs. We could definitely see some Keurig style. That would probably be the most successful build, considering these positions, since considering how difficult it would be to take a third. NaDa really sticking with his reputation of macro style, going with that fast command center. He's no SC Foyu, but this is a huge risk because it is so open on Metalopolis that you could get Speedling Banelings in very easily. He doesn't have a second wall in his ramp, especially since he did put his overall command down.
Oh my
god. A lot of Zerglings coming in now. Speed almost finished.
12 Banelings on the way with 18 more Zerglings in production. He's got just a ridiculous number of units here, and this is something that MorroW does do on a relatively frequent basis. You know, this is not an uncommon strategy for him. He likes to try and use the Banelings early on in a series just to try and put his opponent on guard.
If he has enough Hellions out, Blue Flame is, 3/4 finished, but it's just not going to be in time.
That is a lot of Hellions, so if he does manage to micro them, he can take out a lot of Banelings. They are going to get into his base, and you can see that he is doing a pretty good job with these Hellions so far, but the Banelings are going to get directly into the worker line, pulling the SCVs off at the last moment, so he only loses a couple, but there's more and more Zerglings on the way. But with the 6 Hellions...
That's 16 workers killed for MorroW. So we have 30 to 17 Harvesters right now. It is not looking good for NaDa. He's lost his expansion. He's lost, everything but these Hellions. He has to protect everything. He's gonna be able to try and maybe snipe these Banelings from the Hellions, or with the Hellions, but it's just not looking great for him.
Yeah, if he can keep these Banelings from blowing up all his workers, oh, there goes a bunch more. The Hellions are really good at defending this, but you have to make sure that you don't lose your workers in the process. If you look at the workers killed now, it's 24 workers killed by MorroW, and a total of 40 units lost. So NaDa's going to try and go for some counter harassment, but great job by MorroW keeping his ramp blocked up with this Queen. That Queen and the Spinecrawler are going to take down a couple of those Hellions. And look at that, he even sent the drones away up to the main so they couldn't get taken out. MorroW's just playing this really, really well. He got a good amount of damage in the early game. They backed off and played it really safe to make sure he wouldn't take a bunch of damage from the counterattack.
Right, MorroW is one of these top Zerg players. I don't think he gets the recognition he deserves because he is absolutely superb. He gets some pretty consistent top tournament results despite, all of the talk about Zerg being so underpowered because of these brilliant little maneuvers. He calculated that counterattack. He knew that that's all that NaDa could do at the moment.
Look at the Roaches now pushing up the ramp. You can see a good 8 Roaches now going straight into NaDa's base, and that forces an immediate GG. If you look at the worker count, NaDa was down to 19 SCVs. His factories weren't even producing anything. He only had a couple of Marines, and that 8 Roach follow-up was enough to just force NaDa to get the hell out of Metalopolis. And MorroW's going to take the first game quite convincingly.
Maybe I'm quite biased, but I have seen MorroW do well in so many tournaments that I really think he's an absolutely top-notch Zerg. Probably one of the top 5, along with, Sheth, Ret, Idra, etc. Not quite Idra level, but definitely getting there.
Yeah, that was really well played by MorroW. Doing a great job of recognizing that close positions on metal isn't exactly bad for me. Because he does like to go with some of those aggressive builds in the early game, just means he's able to hit NaDa so much faster at the same time. And since NaDa didn't go for any really early 2-racks pressure, he had a lot of workers. So I think that's going to be kind of the issue there was, the really close spawns on metal. If NaDa had, researched MorroW, he would be familiar, hopefully, that MorroW is rather aggressive and probably wants to put some hurt on him in the early game, but he just didn't go for it.
MorroW plays a lot of mix of styles. I've seen him do Ret style and be when he started out as Zerg for the first 3 or 4 months, he was really, really Ret style greedy. Let's see how many drones I could possibly make without getting punished for it. And then when he started playing, in the last couple of months, he's transitioned with experimenting with aggressive styles like July. A lot of Zerg have been inspired by July lately. We've seen MorroW do a lot of Baneling bust styles, and that's obviously been extremely effective. So he's really a master of a lot of styles. He doesn't really do anything completely really experimental. He plays really classic styles, but plays them kind of just with extremely good timing and skill. Yeah,
really good mechanics on top of it. So that was a really great game by MorroW, and really curious to see how the next game is going to go. It is going to be on Tal'Darim, but give us a moment. We're going to take a quick break, run a quick commercial, and then we'll be right back with game number 2 of MorroW versus NaDa. Stay tuned. We'll be right back in just a moment. This should be a really good game, and then after that, once this series is done, whether it's this game or the next one, Jinro versus MC will be closing out the night. So definitely want to stick around for that. We'll be right back after this quick commercial with game number 2 between NaDa and MorroW.
If you don't mind, I'm actually going to call you back because I'm experiencing some Skype lag, and you're starting to sound robotic, so I imagine that I sound that way too.
Yeah.
I'll call you back really quick.
Okay, that's fine.
Is this any better? Testing?
Hello?
Yeah, I think it's sounding slightly better because it was sounding robotic, Skype laggy for a little bit.
Actually, I didn't hear anything, so you were sounding fine on the stream. Could be why we were getting behind if Skype was actually lagging.
No, my frame rate on this monitor, on my main monitor, is just 1 actually behind, which generally is the issue, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why everybody's raging in chat about how you sound.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe...
I don't know. I think it's just people trolling. So, I think people are back from their commercial. I think. Gotta give them a few more moments. Could be that
everyone is used to these professional casters with their $300 mics that I can't quite afford yet.
Yeah, my main headset actually broke, and I'm getting a new one, but it's not here yet. So I've got my backup pair on. So this one isn't very good either. They're saying they hear clipping and robotic static, but I don't. How are you hearing that when it's fine for me? I'm confused.
I have absolutely no idea.
That's bizarre. Hang on, let me check into that. So I'm gonna double check.
There are a lot of trolls in chat. There, no good North American Zerg. You're so funny.
Yeah, but there's.
I'm such a huge Chess fan.
Chess gonna be casting tomorrow. In case you guys didn't hear about that, yeah, Chef's actually going to be coming along to cast the next round of the tournament tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern.
I'm so excited. Chef is one of my favorite casters. I mean, he's one of my favorite players. He was number 1 for Grandmasters for a long time. Still, his series against Artosis and NXL, one of my favorite series ever, other than like Xenio's epic bailing bomb or bailing grenade moments.
Those are always
bailing
fun.
Landmine? Yeah, bailing landmine. Apparently I'm bad on military terms today.
Alright, so I don't know if distortion is better or worse. I don't know what's going on there. I tweaked a few settings and hopefully that's a little bit better, but it's hard for me to figure out, seeing as everything sounds clear on my end. So hopefully it's a little bit better. Maybe people just aren't trolling as hard. I don't know. But I've got game 2 loaded up and ready to go.